How's everybody doing? This is Luxeley, and I'm in Eye of the Storm. Yes, again, I know the last PvP video was Eye of the Storm, but here's something you gotta watch out for. The Horde only sent one toon over to Fel Reaver Ruins. I made a note of it, I typed it in chat, I said it's empty, we should go. This guy looks like he read the memo, but then he changes his mind. The reality is, any other class, I'd take a 1v1, but that is a Vengeance Demon Hunter there. Maybe I win the fight, maybe I don't, but the point is, he's going to get reinforcements. I'm not going to take it, but I win anyway. So, I ended up getting some help, but here it is. I just know it's not that I can't beat him, it's the fact that the fight's going to last a long time, and he's going to get help, and then I'm going to lose. So that's pretty much why I leave. It's a Vengeance Demon Hunter. It's a tank, okay? I'm a Boomkin. I'm not good against tanks. That's the latest memo that I saw, but Demon Hunters flying around. See, when you have this kind of distance on them, you just got to root them down, and you know, he's got a hell of a lot of mobility that basically he could have the same amount of charges that a DK can have with his Chains of Ice, essentially, which is like 5 or 6. So they're extremely mobile. So you want to be at max distance when you try to root them down. If they get close, you do have the Solar Beam. Hopefully it's not on cooldown. That's all she wrote. But they got some big nerfs recently, so they're not going to be as much of a menace as they have been. So that's the good news for people who don't play Demon Hunters. For people who do play Demon Hunters, let's face it, they needed a nerf. I do play Demon Hunter, you just haven't seen any videos yet, but the fact of the matter is I will be the first to tell you they were pretty overpowered. Speaking of overpowered, what class do you think is backpedaling on a pony? Not a good idea. You know, I don't understand why people just get so pissed off about backpedaling. You know, that's an inconsequential thing. I mean, there have been people that have nitpicked me about backpedaling. Meanwhile, there's nobody around, but I just happen to be backpedaling. They just go crazy. You know, it's not the act itself that's either good or bad. It's what you do when you do it that really makes a difference. And a lot of people just don't get that. Fel Reaver, okay. But we've been down most of this battleground. And the fact of the matter is, we do have the flag, except for now. I want you guys to take note of my positioning here. I am kind of incognito here. When I started that fight, they could not visibly see me from that hill. And that's something you just got to be aware of. It is also you got to be aware of, out of the gate, you want to always try to be aware if they're vulnerable in one of those two bases that they're going to give me cap out of the gate, because in this case, like I said, if that was any other class but a tank class, I would have taken that 1v1 in a heartbeat. But it's a Vengeance Demon Hunter. It's not a question of whether or not I could win the fight. It's a question, is he going to last long enough to get reinforcements? And the answer is probably yes. So just keep that in mind. Little tip from Luxeley. Let me know if you like my tips, and of course I accept tips. But Double Demon Hunter again. Dead, you're dead. Thanks for playing. Uh-oh. Gotta go. Run away. Nature locked. You could have did that from over there, but that's okay. I'm gonna get some help from Mr. Warlock here. He's pouncing him. I mean, Demon Hunter's caught up to you, and it was just dead. Just like that. Dead. You just squashed. It was like you look like, your body looked like you just dropped from the Empire State Building onto concrete when you were fighting a Demon Hunter. But yeah, they've been nerfed. They still have incredible mobility. And one thing I want to point out, and I've been putting together some thoughts on this, and I want to get your opinion on this. A lot of times when Blizzard changes things drastically, and I'm talking from a PvP perspective, nothing else here, and I want you guys to give me some feedback on this. A lot of times when they change something major, they didn't really change a lot of major things in Warlords of Drain all the fun. But they did, I got some work to do, but they changed things pretty drastically here in Legion, where all the gear is normalized and you have artifacts being more significant than gear in PvP. And that's a big thing. It's more significant because it's adding to your health, and it's also adding to your power, your baseline abilities. Certain abilities are getting exponential damage. They're getting a boost in damage. Uh-oh, Demon Hunter. Gotta run. Gotta go. Sorry. I'm trying to run. It's working. I don't know. But my point is, when they make these major changes, some of the things, they just keep on there. And when I'm talking about distance, the yardage that it takes to cast something, for example, Cyclone, 25 yards, and other things, 30 yards. I think a poly is like a 30-yard distance. In the past, whether it be Warlords or most certainly Mop or Kata, that yardage made sense. It just flat out made sense because of all the other abilities you had, how the whole playing. See, once again, here I am a little bit below, so they can't see me from that perspective. So they're like, what's hit me, and they're not going to immediately pick me up. That's just a little trick I learned. But my point is this: now that you have so many gap closers that Melee have, and that you have things changing in PvP so drastically, so differently than it's ever been, the point is, I don't think you can just throw a 30-second cooldown on some given ability. I don't think you can just say, okay, this ability doesn't have a cooldown anymore. Or I don't think you could just say, okay, this ability 30 yards or this ability 25 yards. It made sense an X-Pack or two ago. Now I'm not so sure as a caster. And I want to know if anybody's ever really given this thought or what they think, what you guys think. So leave it in the comments and let me know what class you play, because I think right off the bat, a lot of Melee people might be like, oh, Lux, you know, you splitting hairs, not a big thing. But a lot of people who play casters, DPS casters, and healers, they might be thinking something different. So goodbye, Mr. Turtle. He's running away. Itsu from Illidan. He's in a green turtle shell. He kind of looks like a guacamole bowl with that. He's like an upside-down guacamole bowl in his turtle. There's a big splurge on Barrage. Just got my Hunter to 110, so haven't done any PvP. I've just been kind of running around doing world quests. But, I mean, Barrage isn't what it used to be. Barrage sometimes did a ton of damage on a single target, but now it just seems like it sprays out, and it's not that big on a single target anymore, so I think you got to go with the Murder of Crows. Let me know your thoughts on that as hunters. Any hunters out there? Gonna be testing my metal in PvP with the changes on my Hunter. Probably going BM, but MM is also very good, so at this point you got to choose one based on what your artifact is. I mean, pretty much I started MM. I probably went 6 levels popping in stuff MM for my artifact, and then I switched to BM. So yeah, very confusing stuff, but we're doing pretty well. We have 3 bases now. We have a chance to catch up. It's 8:44 to 10:25. They have the flag, so this is one of those cases where we had 3 bases for a period of time. It really gives you a chance to catch up as long as the other team isn't consistently capping. In other words, running it like nobody's stopping them, nothing's stopping them. It's like a train with, you know, tons and tons of cargo going downhill on steroids, no brakes, nothing stopping them, greased rails, that kind of thing. You got to kind of try to slow down the flag carrier in Eye of the Storm sometimes. It's just as good as taking the flag away, but we still have 3 bases, 11:34 to 9:16. I've done a pretty good job of keeping a distance from the bad guys, so to speak, which is pretty good. And one thing that I've noticed also is they are able to catch up with casters very, very readily. And oh, that was a big hit. That was a big hit. Forget what I was saying. You know what? I forgot what I was saying. Short-term memory loss. Sorry about that. Now, what I was saying is this. I noticed that when I'm in a BG and I start to get trained, chances are most of my team is dead. And what ends up happening is I'm the last man standing, and suddenly it's like 4 or 5 people come at me and dead, you know, like jumped off the Empire State Building. This is what remains, pretty much just liquid. And I noticed that that's what happened because I'm not, you know, I have enough experience that I'm not going to engage in bad situations, and I don't. The situation's pretty good when I start to engage, and then my guys die really quickly, and all of a sudden, I'm the only guy left standing, and I noticed that. I noticed that that's the case. So Let me know your thoughts if you notice that too. And then if you look at the damage, you see the Horde doing a ton of damage, or the opposing team doing a ton of damage, and it's because your team's dead and you're not able to do what you're going to do. And nobody's going to do that. It doesn't matter if you're Vinruki, if you're Hotted, if you're Cartoons, if you're constantly forced into facing, 1v3, 1v4, you're just not gonna you're not gonna live it. You're not gonna live it. So we're in a pretty good shape here. We have one base, we have a 40-point lead, and the flag. Now the key is we gotta cap this flag because the Horde have 2 bases, we have 1 base. This almost made me have an aneurysm, what you guys are about to see. I almost had an aneurysm. So if you saw me not upload videos for like several weeks, chances are I was in the hospital with my aneurysm. But I took some Valium and I'm going to be very calm this time around. So we're winning 1345 to 1323, but we have the flag. That's the key thing. Here comes the dude with the flag. Dude, whatever you do, don't lose that flag. I bashed a rogue and he goes down. Okay, great. Now, he probably shouldn't cap just yet, because if they're right at the flag, the reality is they got 3 bases now, so this is super close. But he shouldn't cap just yet. At 100 points, in other words, when we get to 1400, he probably can cap, because it's going to take some time to reset, but look who's coming. 1, 2, 3 Horde coming. He better cap. That's all I know. He better cap, and he's just standing there. Dude, cap the flag. I almost lost it here. Dude, cap. He's just standing there. Just cap. Just cap the flag. Just cap the flag. Please cap. What the is he doing? Finally he caps. But he should have capped at around 1400, because there's a few seconds that it's going to reset, and the point is that they're not going to have enough time if he capped at 1400 to get the flag, run it to a base. It's just not going to work. So he should have capped at 1400. Just keep that in mind if you guys ever find yourself in a situation where you're about to scream bloody murder. But thanks for watching. This is Luxeley saying, whatever it is by you, morning, afternoon, or night, make it epic, make it great. Thanks for watching.